So Manchester United 3, Arsenal 1. If you need a goal on your debut, play Arsenal. If you haven't scored for about 6 months, play Arsenal. Big up Trashford. If you're a dead midfielder, McMayonnaise, and you want a man of the match performance, play Arsenal. Brandon, VAR, it's against us, mate. Everything's a conspiracy. What did you make of the game, mate?
A lot of questions need to be asked about that performance, Lee. It's very, very similar to what we've seen last season. Do you know what I mean? Naivety, capitulation. Where do we start? Well, let's start with the first half, shall we? First 10 minutes, inviting pressure from Manchester United. Whose decision was that? You know, you were playing at Old Trafford. You have to impose yourself on that game straight away. Why are we inviting pressure? And then it kind of set the tone for the rest of the game, really. And then, you know, we scored the goal against the run of play. Now, I don't know whether it's because I grew up in the 90s and the early 2000s, but for me, that's not a foul, you know?
Ooh,
for me, it's not.
It is a foul.
I think, personally, football is full of a bunch of pussy holes now who pretty much go down on literally anything. And to me, there wasn't enough contact there for Eriksen to go down in the way that he did.
Yeah.
But that's modern day football, you know. It is what it is, and we move. You know, I think it was a good finish by Gabriel Martinelli as well.
Great pass from Saka as well, man. The weight of pass was unreal. I didn't know he had that in his locker. I can't lie.
100%. And then kind of after that, we actually woke up a little bit. We started to play some pretty patterns, started to play our game. But the thing is, Lee, it's a results-based business, and it's all right playing pretty patterns. It's all right having the majority of the possession, but you've got to put the ball in the back of the net, mate. And this is the problem, you know. We're not good enough in the final third. I think we had 16 shots on goal today, and 3 of them were on target. And if I look back to the 3 shots that were on target, only one of them made David De Gea make a meaningful save. The other 2 were like pot shots from well outside the area.
One went in, didn't it?
Yeah, and one went in. Apart from that, you know, absolute diabolical.
Too many touches in their box. That's the problem. It's like we're trying to walk it in the back of the net.
Yeah, it is. And this is the criticism that I have of Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka again today. They're the 2 culprits for it majority of the time. If you get yourself in a good position, fucking shoot, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is it with all this intricate play? It's like we're going back to the Arsene Wenger days where we're overdoing it, trying to pass too much in the box. It's like, why? You know, you get yourself in a good position and then nothing, absolutely nothing. And this is why, you know, for as good of a technical ability as Martin Odegaard has, he will never, ever be a top number 10, ever, because he doesn't make the right decisions at the right time. You know, he doesn't drag the team into the game when we need to be dragged into the game. It's not good enough. It reminds me of Mesut Ozil all over again. You know, he can do it against the small teams, but he can't do it against the big teams. Just going back to that foul as well, that I don't think was a foul. If that was a foul, then we could have an argument about last week. You know, when
Saka with Mings.
Saka and Mings, he got absolutely manhandled by him inside the box, and we got nothing. Do you know what I mean? So it's not even so much that whether it was a foul, wasn't it a foul. It's the inconsistency by the referees and the VAR. It needs to be more consistent because, you know, things like that, you can sort of pick on things like that. And it's like yesterday as well with Chelsea, like that goal being disallowed for West Ham.
Do you think that's a joke, that Chelsea one? I think that's a foul. Yeah, and the reason I think it's a foul is when you see it like facing and you're looking at the screen and it's happening, they slow it down and all that. It looks pathetic. When you see it from the side angle, he clatters him straight in the ribs. Yeah, if that was the other way round in that Chelsea incident, if that's the other way round, and the goalkeeper comes out and does exactly the same to the striker, I think it was Bowen, that's a penalty. Yeah, so it's a foul the other way then.
Yeah, I kind of see your point, but at the same time, I also think, you know, Mendy parried it out. He wasn't getting to the ball. You know, he knew he'd made a mistake.
Bowen was out of control and he saved the ball.
Yeah.
Bowen touched the ball again. The keeper
Right.
saved the ball and then he's clattered him. So for me, it's a fact. I get what you're saying. Yeah, and I can see the argument for both sides. And like, I think, I don't know, like, listen, we all knew VAR was going to be a joke. Yeah, because it's a matter of opinion. It's not a matter of fact. Like you could have a different opinion on that I have on that. Yeah, the same with the Odegaard one today. But then next week somebody else has got a different opinion on another one that happens. It's all subjective. It's all opinion.
You're right.
Goal line technology is either cross the line or it ain't. It's
fact. You're right. It is all subjective. And the thing is we can sit here, we can talk about referees and VAR and stuff like that, but it should never get to that in the first place. If we impose ourselves in them first 10 minutes, if we play our game from minute 1 to minute 90, then it will never ever come down to a VAR decision or a refereeing decision, because we were the better team in terms of the way that we play today. But Manchester United, well, Mikel Arteta was just tactically outdone by Erik ten Hag. Erik ten Hag knew how we would play. He knew that we'd push Zinchenko into midfield. And all it was counter-attacking football, that done us.
And the thing with VAR, sorry to cut you off. The thing with VAR is VAR doesn't stop you defending properly. It doesn't. It doesn't make Zinchenko look over his shoulder, see Anthony, and then get sucked into the ball instead. Yeah, VAR doesn't make Martin Odegaard shank a ball from 8 yards out, nearly out for a throw-in. Yeah, that doesn't. VAR is not involved in that. So it's like all the excuses of VAR are cool, but ultimately we weren't good enough.
No, we weren't. You're right. And I was looking at the bench today as well, thinking, okay, there's a handful of players here, and there was a handful of players for Arsenal that didn't really deserve to be on the losing side. Gabriel Jesus was the standout one for me. Martinelli as well. But apart from that, there was.
I thought Ramsdale did well today.
Ramsdale was good today as well. But apart from that, there was a few very average performances. I think Saka as well. He should have been dragged off a lot sooner. Well, I think he ended up playing the 90 minutes, didn't he?
I thought Saka, do you mean?
Saka, yeah.
Saka, sorry, yeah, Saka. I thought he was poor. Barring the goal, I thought, and there was one instance where he spun the players and whipped one wide. Other than that, yeah, I know, yes, he got the pass for Martinelli's goal that was ruled off. So that's 3 little moments in the game. Bro, he's so predictable, it's unbelievable.
But he did absolutely
he's going to come
nothing.
in on the left, and when you've got Odegaard floating out to the right with him, they're so left-footed. Yeah, and it's cool being so left-footed. Salah's so left-footed. Mahrez is mainly left-footed. Yeah, and I just look at these two and I think, well, everyone knows all you got to do is show them inside and then they can just cross. Or if you want to get the ball off them easy, just show them down the wing because they ain't got a right foot. But if you show them inside, you crowded them out. Yeah, whereas you look at Salah and he's not had a great season, Salah. Yeah, but Salah's left foot is boom. Kevin De Bruyne's left foot is boom. Mahrez's left foot is boom. Yeah, Jack Grealish, top class. These players have got more about them. They can hold the ball better. They can do something with a bit of vision or a bit of skill. For me, Saka's had a shocking season so far. Yeah,
and I think right.
He looks so far off the pace of the rest of the players on the pitch. It's mad. But we ain't got no replacement for him because we didn't bother buying anyone to replace Pepe.
It all comes back down to the transfer window again, though, Lee. Look at last season. We should have brought a striker in January. We was an absolute shoo-in for that top 4 spot. Yeah. And we didn't get it because we didn't have enough squad depth. We didn't have that striker that we needed in January. I'm seeing the same thing again. We needed a midfielder. Sambi Lokonga and Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka did all right today. But Sambi Lokonga and Granit Xhaka are not the answer for that midfield. I mean, yeah, we're 2-1. Well, let's say 1-1. We're 1-1. And that second goal, right, the amount of space that Christian Eriksen has in that midfield is an absolute joke. An absolute joke. And for the third goal as well. I know we was, trying to get ourselves back into it. But, the fact that he's got that much space and he's a technically gifted footballer who can pick out a pass, it's just like so naive. And on the naivety as well, right? Let's talk about them substitutions by Mikel Arteta.
Yeah.
What a joke they were as well. At 2-1, we've got the majority of the ball. We're still trying to go forward. We're still attacking Manchester United. We're still creating chances. And he brings on 3 attacking players and takes off 3 defensively minded players. Like, what are you doing, bruv? It's not like you're a rookie manager anymore. You're 3.5 years into a job. You spent over £400 million and you're making dumbass substitutions like that, which ends up costing us the game. I just
totally destroyed our midfield basically, because now we ain't got a midfield. And on another day, I said this to a couple of the other lads. On another day, I don't think it was a 3-1 game necessarily, but at the same time, on another day, tiny little bit more quality in the final ball from United in that last 20 minutes. It could have been 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ronaldo was crying like a baby as always, but on another day, yeah, slight little bit of quality, bang, 5. And all of a sudden, we're sitting there going, we've just been slapped 5. How? We're sitting there saying, how have we lost 3? But it could have been 5. Crystal Palace, Eze could have scored. Mitrovic did score. Leicester are rooted, bottom of the table, scored twice. Yeah, and yes, we bounced back and we scored straight away. Well, today we didn't. Yeah, it took us ages to bounce back. And as soon as we bounce back, we roll over and let them tickle our belly again. Yeah, and you're right. The transfer window is going to come back to bite us horribly. We've got 9 games in October, mate. That's a game every 3 days. I think we've actually got a game, unless they move the game. It's on fireworks night, 5th of November. We've got a game on the 3rd of November, and then we play Chelsea away on the 5th, 2 days later. So unless they move that to the 6th, yeah, then we've got a game twice in 48 hours. Yeah. But now it's, the Premier League are against us. I turn it, I'm bored of it.
And
man.
you can guarantee as well, mate, that Arteta, when that fixture run comes around, will be moaning and groaning about, these fixtures are too much, blah, blah, blah. Well, invest in the squad then. You know, him and Edu, absolute liability. We started the transfer window very well. We got in, Jesus and Zinchenko, and it looked like Arsenal were being pragmatic for once rather than fucking, dilly-dallying like they do. And then they leave it right down to the last day to try and sign a midfielder. Like, get out.
And then I see something today that said that we bid 25 million on deadline day for Ferran Torres. Why did we bid 25 million? Yeah, Barcelona signed him for 55 in January. So either that's rubbish, yeah, or we're more effed than I think we are.
Well, what's with the 25 million anyway, Lee? A lot of people are forgetting that we had 50 million pounds ready to go for Rafinha, and we didn't even spend that money. So where's that gone then?
Mate, we didn't sign a player from the 24th of July, and Edu was giving it, we've got a lot of work to do. Well, what did we do then? We got rid of a load of players that you ripped the contracts up, let them leave for nothing, put them on loan, got 4 million for Leno, yeah, and didn't bring anyone in to replace any of these players. But listen, I'll stick your channel link in the description, man. Always like talking to you, man. And big up as always. We roll on to Europa League on Thursday with probably a youth team. But it is what it is. And big up for coming on, man. Arteta out.
Arteta out.
Always, bro. Every single day of the week and twice on Sunday. We're out of here.